Hey guys, it's Loves to Loom. Today we're going to be creating my Secret Cove bracelet, which is a 4-bar wide loom design. It is a reversible design. This is the back side, so is this one here. And then this is the front. I love both sides and I actually can't stop making it. I have made so many of them. So we are going to be making a full-length bracelet today, which takes about 134 bands. The breakdown includes 46 of the navy blue, 16 of the neon green, 32 of the orange, and 40 of the baby blue. You do want to have 2 easy clips if you have them. If not, grab 2 C-clips, grab your hook, get your bands together, and I'll show you the loom setup. To make this bracelet, you need to have 4 bars aligned next to each other. I'm going to connect another loom in front of this one so I can make a full-length bracelet, but I do want to give people an option in case they only have 4 bars. So we can also do the transfer method with this design very easily. If you only have one set of 4, you're going to lay the bands to the end of the loom the same way that I'm laying them. You're going to loop it up and then save your first piece. You're going to lay them out all over again the exact same way. You just have to reconnect your first piece before you start looping it up the second time. So after I lay my bands out, I'm going to put a screenshot on my screen showing you what the reconnection should look like. So that way everyone has the option to make a full-length bracelet today. So I don't want to keep rambling on. We're going to go ahead and start by choosing the navy blue bands on this one. That's actually the back side. This is the front. We start laying some of them, not all of them. So we're going to start by laying a band going straight and then horizontal. And then you have to do the same for the left half of the loom. Straight and horizontal. We're going to come down to the next row right after it and do the same thing. From here, we have to start skipping every other row. So don't do anything here. Come up to the next row and we will repeat laying the straight and horizontal on each side. If you are doing the transfer method or just using one set of 4, you're going to be going down to the end of your loom. If you're using 2 looms like I am, we're going to be stopping 1 row short from the end. When you get done laying them, this is what it will look like. I'm 1 row short since I'm using 2 looms. You're going to be at the end of your loom if you're using just 1 set. Go through and push them down and we're going to come back to the beginning. We're now going to start alternating different colors as we finish filling the loom out. Keep the first color close by. We're now going to choose the neon green bands that sit right there. We're going to lay an X on the first 2 center pins right here. So I lay the left one first and then cross it like that. We're now going to grab the orange band. So come next to the green band right here, or your X band. We're going to lay a diagonal band going inwards, and then another diagonal band going inwards. You have to repeat that same thing on the right side, going in the opposite direction. Push it down. We're going to grab one more new color, and that's going to be the baby blue on this one. Come back to the same pin that we laid the orange on. We're going to lay this blue band going straight and then diagonally inwards. Do that on both sides, like that. Grab one more band of that color, and we're going to place a cap band on one of these pins here, and then we'll stretch it over to connect to the other one. Like that. We're going to push that down, and now we're going to start the actual pattern that we're going to repeat down the loom. We're going to go back to our first color, and we're going to lay the same shape like we did initially. So right on top of the cap band, we're going to lay it straight and then horizontal. You're going to do that on both sides of the loom. Push that down and grab your first X color, which for me is the neon green. We're going to lay an X band right on top of those bands that we just laid. Push that down. I'm going to grab my orange. We're going to come right next to where my green ends, and we're going to do a diagonal band inwards 2 times. Do the same on the right side. Push it down, and now I'm going to grab my baby blue. Come to the same pin the orange started on. We're going to lay it straight and diagonally in. Do the same for the right side. and grab one more color or one more band of that same color and place a cap band on the top center pin there and use your hook to stretch it over. So we just completed the second section and we're going to repeat that again. So push your cap band down. I'm going to grab my first color and right on top of the cap band we're going to lay the straight and horizontal on each side. We're going to grab our first X color and lay that X right on top of those bands. I'm going to grab my orange, come right next to the X, lay my two diagonals, and repeat the diagonals on the right. I'm going to grab my baby blue, and on the same pin the orange started, I'm going to lay it going straight and diagonal, and do the same on the right. With that same color, we're going to place a cap band on the front center pin and stretch it over. We're going to repeat that again. So I'll grab my first color right on top of the cap band. We'll lay it straight and horizontal on each side. I'm going to lay my X color. Come next to it and lay the two long diagonals. Do that on both sides. And I'll lay my last color, which is baby blue, going straight and diagonal in. And I will lay my cap band color on one pin and stretch it over. So you're going to go ahead and keep repeating that pattern down the loom. If you do need to watch my previous instructions, I'll put a timestamp up here on the screen and it will pick up right where I'm leaving off. Fill it out till you get down to the end of the loom and I'll show you what mine looks like when I get down there. So when you do get caught up and you're at the end of the loom, regardless of which row you're ending on, our ending should look just like this. So we're going to go ahead now and turn our loom around. Alrighty, so we are ready to start the looping. If you're doing the transfer method, there's a picture on my screen. The first time you loop it up, it's going to be the same way I'm doing it right now. The second time you loop it up, you have to reconnect it just like that picture shows. So let's go ahead and continue. We're going to grab this horizontal band here. We have to do this one differently. We're going to bring it in front of the pin and then roll it forward to reconnect it on like that. It creates a figure 8. We're going to do the same to this one over here. I'm going to turn it so I don't block you. Take it off and then roll it back on, creating that figure 8 or twist in it. We're then going to come to the front of these pins here and we're grabbing the same band. It's the fourth one down. We're going to flip it over and sit it behind the pin. We're going to do that on both of them. From there, we're going to loop these baby blue diagonal bands. So you have to go into this cap band right here, grab the first diagonal and loop it back to itself. Do the same to this one. We're now going to grab the back part of this cap band right here. We need to pull it towards ourselves and sit it in front of the pin. I like to keep my hook attached to the cap band, come to the right and pull that in front of it. The goal is to have the cap band sitting in front of those pins. Now we can go ahead and release these two blue bands. They are secure. We're now going to go back into these same pins and we're going to loop the orange X. So I'm going to go in here and grab that band. It is going to be looser this first round. Come in this one and cross it in the opposite direction. We're going to back up from there and we're going to grab the bottom band on this pin and we're going to do a long diagonal stretch all the way up here where that first horizontal band is. Do the same for the left one. From there, we're going to back up and we're going to loop the bottom band. There's actually only one band in there. We're going to loop that forward. We're going to come from there into the center here and we're going to loop the diagonal orange band. Now on this first row, it is a lot tighter and sometimes it's hard to only grab the top one. So just make sure you're not also getting the bottom band. Do the same to this one. We have to go back into those pins and grab the bottom band that's in them, but it is done differently. We're not actually taking this band off of the pin. So go down in there. I like to kind of swoop to the right and make sure it's on my hook. Bring it up, but don't take it off of the pin. You can see how I'm just pulling it up right here above the orange. Pull it up and connect it to the pin in front like that. I'm going to zoom in here. So we're going to do the same on this one. I like to turn my hook this way. I put my hook down into that little opening, grab a hold of the band that's in there. Once I see that I have it, I start pulling it behind the pin and up to connect. That step is so important. The bracelet will fall apart if you do not do that. So make sure you get that connected. Let me show you what it looks like from the side. You can see it's coming from that little space. All right, so after that, we're going to come over here to these side pins, and we're going to loop the bottom band, which is the horizontal. Loop it inwards. We're now going to loop the X band. So we're going to go right in here, grab the top band and loop that back to itself, and cross the other one in the opposite direction. We're going to back up and we're going to grab the bottom band that's on this pin here, loop that diagonally out to the right, and loop this one the opposite. We're going to come into this pin here and we're going to grab the blue band that's in there. It's the third band down. It's right here. We're going to loop this out to the right and this one in here out to the left. This step is actually temporary. We just need to be held there for a second. We're now going to grab these two green bands. It's your X bands on this pin. Flip it over and let it go. Do the same to this one. Grab the two bands, release it from the pin and let it go. Once you release it, we need to come back here, grab the top band and put it back. Do the same right here. We just completed our first section and we're going to repeat that all over again. So to start the next one, we're going to go into this pin here and grab the bottom horizontal and loop it in. Do the same right here. We're going to go into these pins here and we're going to loop the diagonal blues. You just have to make sure you're getting in front of this cap band right here, and then it's the next band down. We're now going to grab the back of this cap band right here, pull it towards yourself, and flip it over the pin for both like that. It should be sitting in front of it. We're going to loop the orange bands right here now. So I'm going to go into this pin first and loop the orange diagonally back to itself. Don't grab two bands like I just did. From there, we're going to back up and we're going to loop the very bottom band and we're going to do a long diagonal stretch up to where that horizontal band is and do the same on this one. We're going to back up from there and we're going to loop the bottom band forward. We're now going to come to the center and we're going to loop the orange going diagonally outwards, which you can actually see it better now on this round. Go back into those same pins, and this is where we need to grab that bottom band, but you're not taking it off of the pin. Just pull it up enough to where you can see it, bring it around to the back of the peg, and pull it up to connect it above. I'm going to do the same with this one. Pull it up and behind it, and just stretch it up and connect. You can see it better on this one. From there, we're going to come to the pin right next to it, and we're going to loop the bottom horizontal band into the center. We're now going to loop the green X band back to itself. We're going to back up and loop the bottom band diagonally out. Do that to both of them. We're going to come into the X band and we're going to grab the third band down. We're going to loop it out to the right from that one and out to the left from this one temporarily. We're going to release these green X bands. Make sure you only have the two bands on there. Release it from that pin and do the same right here. Once you release it, we're going to grab the top band and bring it back to the middle pins. We've just completed another section. So we're going to go ahead and start that again. So we're going to grab the horizontal band in here and loop it inwards on both sides. We're going to go into the pin and loop the diagonal blues back to themselves. We're going to grab the cap band right here, pull it towards yourself and sit it in front of both pins. We're going to loop the orange X's to themselves. We're going to back up again and grab the bottom band on that same pin and do a long diagonal stretch. Do that to this one too. We're going to back up and loop the bottom band forward. We're going to come to the center pins here and we're going to loop the orange diagonal bands back to themselves diagonally. Go back into that pin, and this is where we're going to grab the bottom band. Don't take it off of the pin. Just pull it to the back and connect it up to the pin above it. Like so. We're going to loop the horizontal band on the pin next to it into the center. I know there's a lot of steps for each section. We're going to go into this pin and loop the X bands back to themselves. We're going to back up from there and loop the bottom band diagonally out to the right from this one and to the left from this one. Come back in here and we're going to grab the third band down and loop it out. This one goes to the left. We're going to release our X bands. There's 2 of them. Do that on both of the middle pins. And now bring that top band back to the middle. I'm going to go ahead and show that process one more time. So we're going to start the next section by looping the horizontal bands in. We're going to loop the diagonal baby blues back to themselves. Grab this cap band, flip it towards yourself and sit it in front. Go back into that pin and loop the orange bands back to themselves. We're going to back up from there and loop the bottom band, and we're going to do a long diagonal stretch up on each one. We're going to back up from there and we're going to loop the bottom band forward. We're going to come to the middle here and loop the orange diagonal bands back to themselves. Come back here again and we're going to grab that bottom band. Don't take it off of the pin, just pull it up enough to where you can stretch it back here and connect it to the pin above it. Do not forget that part, it's so important. We're going to come to the pins next to it and loop the horizontal bands inwards. Loop the X bands back to themselves. We're going to back up from there and loop the bottom band diagonally outwards to the right and the left. We're going to come back in here and we're going to grab the third band down and loop it out to the same pin. And now we're going to release the neon green X bands off of the center pins. Go back to these pins out here, grab the top band and bring it back to the middle. We just completed that section and you're ready to start the next one. So you guys have to keep repeating that until you get all the way up the loom. If you do need to rewatch previous instructions, I'll put a timestamp so that it picks up right where I'm leaving off and you can keep looming it with me. I will come back when I get down to the very end of the loom so we can loop the very top together and make sure everyone gets it closed up correctly. Okay, so when you guys are done and you're caught out with me, you're at the end of the loom. I've just looped my last X band. I'm at the very top. And when you're done looping the X, you need to back up and grab the bottom band in this pin right here. You're going to loop it diagonal to the right, just like we were doing before. Do the same with the left one, but go to the left. That's just temporary. We're going to come to the center pins and grab the third band down like we were doing in the pattern. Loop that out to the right and the left. We're then going to go ahead and release the green bands, your X bands, off of the center too. We're now going to grab the top band on the left and bring it back to the middle. And now grab the remaining band from the left and bring it to the middle. Do the same to the right, but make sure you do one at a time so it's in the correct order. Once you do that, all we have left to do is grab 2 easy clips. We're going to easy clip each one of these 2 sets of bands. Now, one thing that is very important is when you go to remove this from the loom, number 1, I would use your hook to remove all of the outer bands. I highly encourage it. But when you go to start pulling the easy clips off, hold on to them, like when you're pulling the bracelet off, because I have had bands pop out on this design more than once. So be very careful when removing it from the loom. I'm going to take mine off and I'll meet you guys back here. So when you take it off, give it a nice stretch to help anything fall into place. To close it up, we are going to put our top, which this is the front top, place it down, then bring both ends around to meet together like this. You're going to untuck that cap band right here, and then you're going to locate the 2 easy clips or C clips. You just want to make sure when you go to connect them that they're not twisted. So this one kind of is twisting down, so I'm going to twist it like that so that it is not twisted. And now connect the second one. Make sure, again, that it's not twisted. Like so. But that is going to be it for today, you guys. I thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.